Welcome back to Alma, Missouri. Today we're going to get all of our spring fields planted. It's going to be just the two. We're going to put probably soybeans in the ground, but we are putting corn in right now. We're also going to get to sell all of this wool. We got probably around 50,000 liters of wool we'll be selling by the end of today. Pretty good stuff. I haven't made a decision on the horses yet. We're still taking care of them, still waiting for them to get to puberty. And I think they're 100% there now. Seeing if anything really changed. They're at 90%. Their value's still going up. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. We're gonna keep learning a little bit about them. Let's go ahead and see how our helper's doing out here with getting the corn planted. We are gonna take over from them, but I wanted to get a good head start today. You know, we got this field that we're gonna put corn in. We have, I believe, barley here. That field back there, I wanna put some soybeans in. And then it might be time to get to the grass field here soon. What is going on out here? It's like a tiny little area we missed cultivating. That's not good. You know, they did a good job getting us started here, but we're gonna take over at this point, and we're probably gonna have to get some seed delivered at some point today. But doing the ups and downs first is what they started with, so I think we'll take over and do that. I believe we'll be good to just go to the middle of the field now. There is one more row. Let's go ahead and grab that right here first. Not too bad. And I think going 11 miles an hour is gonna work with this. You know, we would like a wider planter eventually to get things done a lot faster. But for now, this will do. Let's go ahead and get back to the middle of the field. We'll do that, and then we'll finish off with the headlands. But really starting to think about those next expansions and next purchases, and I think when we sell the wool, we'll definitely buy something for the manure spreading, because that will be something that we absolutely could get purchased and use. On this field here, we need another application of fertilizer, and the field to our right, I believe that one might be 100%. We'll double check that, but we definitely do need to get that equipment owned and stop leasing it at some point. But also, I'm really itching to get that popcorn production, so we'll see how much money comes in from the wool, see if there's anything else that's at good prices in May as well. But we got to get there first, so let's get this planting done and make some progress. Yeah, it seems like we will have enough seed to get this whole field planted, and we're through the long ups and downs now, so I want to take a look at a few things. If we look at the cows, I wanted to see what we had here. We do have, maybe I'm thinking of a different mod. So these do not have a sex, so they're not male or female, which is interesting. I was gonna get rid of all the males, and I think that is a mod from FS22 I'm thinking about there. Same with the sheep. I was gonna go through, or not the sheep, but the goats, since they produce milk, but I don't think we have any way of knowing, so they're just they're just all gonna be here. So same thing here. We might let them reproduce and see how that goes. Got comments about adding the manure heap, but I don't think we really need it. So let's take a look at fields. 9, I keep eyeing 600,000. Over here we have 400,000. So these smaller ones are probably going to be in our next pay range or price range. Maybe this one over here, but it's gonna be a little while before we can expand, and I'm kind of itching, so we'll see. The productions that are available, the popcorn one's the one we want. I think, let's get to the end of this row, and I want to remind myself of the cost of that. I think it's 150 though. Should be safe to lift here, and then we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna lock in, but we are gonna stop for just a second here and visit. Okay, so should be able to just click right here and buy is 240. Okay, that's a little more pricey than I was thinking it was. Got to be patient, but at some point I think things are going to escalate, and we do have, if we look at time-saving stock check here, we're at $165,000 worth of wool. Eggs are getting up there at 25,000. Milk's already at 74. Goat's milk's at almost 40,000. So money is coming in, just not very fast. And we have a lot of sorghum. So next January, we might sell some of that as well. Ketchup is starting to get produced, 40,000 there. We'll slowly get through a lot more of that throughout the year here. And we are out already, so let's go ahead and deactivate that until we get more tomatoes over there. All is good. Let's get this done. And just the headlands left to do. Most of them are going to be in pretty good shape, but we will, cruise around the field just to get it taken care of. Some areas that we've missed, definitely on the furthest headland, the one to our right. But most of this one's just going to be driving over it just to be safe here. Plenty of seed. I think we'll be able to get the soybeans as well, potentially, unless they go at a lot faster rate. That is a smaller field. Should be pretty good. We're going to get a worker going on that next, and we're going to get our weeder out and start picking the weeds in this field so that none grow. And that should get us pretty set up, or get us set up pretty well to get into May and take care of what's left of the fertilizer. All right, we are finally done, 42%, so we have 180 liters. I don't think that's gonna be enough for the soybean field, but we will find out. All right, we'll get a worker going on this, and we will go probably get the case off of the feed mixer. And we will do, let's start with headland on this one. Let them get going, and we'll come over here. Let's go ahead and top this off, just no capacity. So they didn't eat at all, huh? We're gonna leave it there though. Go into the shed behind this one, grab the weeder, go out there to the corn field, and I'm gonna get started on that. I'll probably do the headlands and then hand it over because I enjoy planting a little more than I enjoy the weeding process. But let's go ahead and back on up to this one. Should be able to just auto connect here. And this should work, right? Could plant grass with this, but we're not doing that. We're just gonna use it for weeds. Oh yeah, the width is pretty desirable here. Nice. Forgot this is the one we had. All right, let's get this all set up, and away we go. Now everything from this field is gonna turn into dried corn, which I don't think we'll be able to turn into popcorn this iteration, but the next one I'm definitely hoping so. But it should bring in a lot. We did chop some of the corn last time and turn it into silage that we haven't even dipped into yet. So the grass field way over there, we may do a cut in May or June and make some hay since we have plenty of silage. Hay's starting to get dipped into, but I'm really working the grass field as needed at this point. So it's nice to have it, but it also feels like it's just a waste of a field. But I'm going to be patient. We're going to expand, before we know it. We'll have a lot more fields and a lot more income coming in from other productions. And yeah, I do love this playthrough. We're going to feature it for a good amount of time, I think, on the channel. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Looks like they're already to the ups and downs on the soybean field. Or maybe the second headland. Yeah, it looks like the second headland. Making good time over there, though, as we just slowly cruise around this field, taking care of the weeds. Wow, they ran out of seed already. All right, let's stop. So it does use a lot more seed for soybeans. Good to know. We will get a delivery, but I'm going to get closer into the house here before we, set that location. I guess this field's not that small. That's interesting. We burnt through that fast. I don't know if workers go through it quicker. That was interesting. Maybe it's just soybeans. I think it is just soybeans. I think right around here would be a good place for that. And I don't see why we don't just grab 2 of these right now. We're not going to go through them yet, but might as well have them on hand just in case. This kind of has me wondering, how many of you play where you'll allow the workers to buy products and automatically refill? I think that's something that I would be interested in doing when the farm is super established and finances aren't really an issue. Like right now we're getting by, but it would definitely hurt us if we had that set that way. We'd run out of money a little too fast, I believe. But yeah, just kind of wondering how many people play that way. I've always been tempted to. I think I've done a couple playthroughs that way. But it seems like, especially the vehicle repairs and the fuel seems to be a helpful one, because I forget. We've seen throughout the years that I do forget to fill up the gas tank or the diesel on these ones. All right, second headland here, and I think we will definitely hand this off to a worker to do the ups and downs. But I thought I'd enjoy a little bit of this process myself. All right, that should take care of the headlands here. Just, kind of remembering we can do contracts. There's nothing saying we can't, and I could have workers take care of contracts for us to just help us make more money quicker. So we might start doing that next episode. I might take a look here after getting this worker all set up and see if there's anything worth grabbing. But we want to come here and go work headlands, no. And then just hand that off to them. Going good here. Yeah, 60% or 40% already used. So it is burning through the seed a lot faster on the soybeans for sure. Let's take a look at contracts. I mean, that'd be fun to use, but not a big fan of fertilizer ones. Weeds we could do. It says it requires a weeder. We'll have to remember what classification ours is. Let's take a look at that. Yield improvement, weeders. This is the one we have. It is classified as a weeder. Kind of tempted. We'll see if those are there still. Like these two, it's only 12 grand. That's not a ton of extra cash. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on here. Hoe work, driftwood, cultivating. Man, that's a big contract. And why are we missing? I think the second time we started here, they didn't do, we're gonna take over. They didn't do the headland. Now let's switch to here so we can have that. That's bizarre. Yeah, this one right here did not get done. Let's get this activated. We'll go ahead and whoops, cruise on straight here. But yeah, we'll definitely start taking an eye or keeping an eye on. Oh, we could have put fertilizer in here. What is wrong with me? Slow down, Chris. We'll keep an eye on contracts moving forward and make sure we get it taken care of. See, we wouldn't have had to, we were trying not to use salt fertilizer, but I think I am gonna like back off of that stance and try to just get things done efficiently. But it looks like this is the only part of the headland they didn't do, and I don't understand. That must have been when we came back and switched. It must have forgot we said to start with the headlands. Or the fact that it was halfway through one. Yeah, I think that was probably, it was halfway through that one, so it recognized it as done when it came back to it. I'll give it that. We'll go with that one. Let's get this done. And getting a little low on product here, so I think we will head in and top off again on that. Not too much to do left, looking pretty good. Weeder is taking care of business over here as well. Looks like they're moving pretty quickly through that field. 660 liters, hoping it's enough to finish this field, and back at it. Should be more than enough. I believe this is our last pass here. It sure is. And went through half of this tank of seed again. So I was seeing on, I think it was Reddit, there was a debate on whether or not soybeans was actually one of the most profitable products on the game or crop types. And it seemed to be a pretty heated debate. And I'm wondering if some of the thought process people are having is because of how much seed it takes. I don't know. I didn't completely understand or follow what people were saying on it. I always know that we make a lot of money off of soybeans. It doesn't yield the best. So it would be interesting to do a test or take a look at some other creators that have already done those tests and take a look at their spreadsheets and get re-familiar with that. But I always felt like soybeans was a nice opportunity to make money pretty quick. So we are waiting a little bit of time for the weeder to get it onto the next field. We're going to check the prices of a few things. So well, not a few things, specifically the wool, and we'll see if it's ready to sell that. But I do want to get this washed before I put it away. It does not stay in this shed, but I knew we had the pressure washer over here, so we'll get that taken care of right now. Pretty filthy. 96% dirt, and I don't think we've done maintenance on much on this series, so we'll have to keep that in mind for the cost of things and keeping finances in order so that we do take care of the maintenance soon, especially probably after we do harvest. We'll maintain everything this year. And might as well get the John Deere all cleaned up too while we're at it. The damage is at 43% on this. Back here, what are we looking at? 4%. So yeah, the tractors get used a lot more, so that makes sense. All right, let's get this put away. We'll check on the worker out there, see how close they are. But before that, we'll definitely check on the price of wool. I know May is the best price, but it seems like a lot of the times later in the day on the month prior, the prices are pretty good. So we'll double check just to be sure. And we also have this shop where we can do all the maintenance, so we don't have to take it into town to a mechanic. We can do it all ourselves here. So we'll have to keep that in mind. All right, let's look at prices. Time-saving stock check shows that wool is about $80 low right now. So we could wait a little bit longer on that. And looks like they're making good progress, but you know, workers do not create tracks, so I don't see which ones they've done already. So we're just gonna have to have them finish, and I'm gonna crank up the speed a little bit, let them go as fast as it'll let them, so we can get that done. And let's double check on all the animals here. Feed is somewhat low for the chickens, but we can take care of that soon. Plenty of TMR for the cows, the goats. I think we'll move some food over there, and probably for the horses as well. Let's move our spawn point here. We're gonna buy some forks for the telehandler. Let's go to combinations here, and pallet forks, $2,000 it's gonna cost us, plus a little bit of a delivery fee, $51. And of course they're facing the wrong way. Man, it's been so long since we bought this thing. And I think this is the first time we're gonna use it. I'm gonna try to sneak up here and grab 3 bales for the sheep and goats. Oh yeah, that's glorious. Doesn't even seem like it feels it. And then I don't know if this can hook up to the cart to give the chicken some feed, but we will try. I don't see anything that would attach to it. You can just leave these here. And yeah, they were far enough. So they took all of those, which is interesting. And let's head over to the chicken food, and we'll try over there. We'll see. We do have the other John Deere right in front of me that we can hop into if we need to. But I just want to start using this. I love this piece of machinery. Oh, the chicken eggs we can move around too. We're almost at capacity here. Let's lift that up so we can drive farther forward, and then we'll come over here and lower it. And I would not be surprised if we could snag both of these at once. Oh, that is glorious. And for now, we'll just move them over here. I think it's like August when these are good price. We'll double check that as well, but we're starting to get a good pile of eggs here, and that should give us a decent runway until we need more eggs. But I'm gonna bet no on hooking up to this trailer here. But we'll try just in case. It's way too, oh no, I guess it is lower, but I didn't see a hookup. Let's look back here. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything, but let's hop back in just in case. Sometimes this game is a little funny like that. No go. Okay. So there's also 5 pallets here that we could move over to the ketchup production, but we know that burns through it so fast that we're not necessarily that concerned with moving them right away. So let's go ahead and park this again, and we will then jump into the John Deere, the smaller John Deere, get the chickens fed, and then we'll check on the weeding. That pulled way too far forward. There we go. Let's just dump a little bit in here. That'll work for now. We did get those loaded up because we will take them in probably sometime in May. Yeah, let's look at the prices for the eggs. Eggs are showing good all the way in November. Okay, so we'll have a little bit of time before that's a thing. And it looks like they're just about done here. And we're gonna go ahead and hand them over here. Have a worker get going on this, and we're gonna make sure everything looks good. Work headlands. We do want that on. I don't care where they start, but there they go. Now I did find a couple bale wrapping contracts, and I'm gonna get those taken care of. Fields 28 and 33. 28 is right by us here, and 33 is on the way to the store. So I think those are good ones to do. We can kind of start seeing the bales in the distance here, right through those trees. So how do we get onto this field? Ah, I see an entrance. All right, so this shouldn't take too long, and I think by that time we'll check the wool price again, and we might have to make it May to get that good price, but I saw this storm was coming in, and these farmers had these contracts, so I figured we might as well help them out before the storm hits and get their grass wrapped for them. Now, I didn't borrow the second set of equipment, and I'm kind of wondering if we're gonna pay for that, like by actually having to buy bale wrap. And I just don't know what the price difference would have been. Like, this might have been one of the contracts where we should have just borrowed both sets of equipment, but it'll be all right. We'll buy a little bit when the time comes. You can see we have, you know, a little over 2 boxes of wrap left in there. We're just using up this last one of the third one here, and about 7 more bales to pick up here. It was a little bit more than I thought it was going to be, but we'll get it done. It's getting dark here. We'll get this field done and then the other one, and then we'll double check those prices once again. And they should just about be finishing the weeding at this point. Well, the percentage looks like we missed one. 97, I think we're good. I think we are good here. 3% for this one here. And you know what? I'm so confident I'm gonna start driving to the next field. We'll keep this in the grass though. We don't want to just drop this anywhere. Come on, 100%. Perfect. All right, let's go. It's just over here past this tree line, I believe. And I hope it's not 50 bales again. Usually get a good indicator after wrapping the first bale of seeing how high the percentage goes. Hoping this one goes to about 5%. 4%, that's not bad. So it's half as many bales as the last one. That means we will need to buy some wrap. Still haven't gotten the indicator over here. They must be super close. And they did finally finish the weeding. We have one. Yeah, we're gonna run out of wrap, but we are 20% done already on this one, moving super fast compared to the last one. I'll see you on the other side. It was $800. So there's $100 per roll or box. So that's not too bad. I don't think we can unload this and keep it afterwards though. Unfortunately. I'll try. And 100%. There it is. Can we unload these? I didn't think so. That's all right. A little bit of lost money there, but that'll be fine. Go ahead and complete these contracts. Get 8,000 there. On this one, we'll get 18,000. Puts us at 151. And let's take a look here. We could still go up money-wise. So I am going to move a little bit of this stuff around and do what I've been doing since we run out of space here. I've been just kind of loading them up. My auto loading here, it will not go to the second level, so I'm gonna try to adjust this later. But I've been loading these as they go since they spawn so fast. I mean, this one's already at 752. Once that hour clicks over, that one's gonna be full. It is 1,000, but it's not completely. Look at that. Look at that, that's weird. There we go, now I'm stuck. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. It is 2 o'clock. We're gonna try to get one more here, but we are gonna go in and sell these. The price did start dropping down below the peak price, so we'll get them sold here at 2 a.m. And where are we going? Where are we going? The bale sales location. 51,000 liters of wool, and we might as well drive with the lights on. All right, here we go. Let's just get these unstrapped. We can get them sold. Try to get one number here. $181,000 of wool sold. We're at $331,000. We are going to spend a little bit of it. Next episode, we're going to get to taking care of some fertilizer. Make sure those fields are completely prepped. The 2 that we planted today, they're completely ready for just sitting and growing and ready for harvest. It sounds like there's a party going on over here. Is it in here? Hearing something. Maybe it's the pizzeria? Oh, it must be in that building. I can't hear exactly where it's coming from. That's hilarious. It's kind of loud over here. Oh, a little city park here. But unfortunately, oh, vehicle traders right here. Awesome. I haven't even noticed that. But anyways, now we're just kind of procrastinating. I'm Socksway Up. I will catch you on the next episode.